Can you see me? Hope so. Let me see the audio. Just a second. Okay, so we're good to go. Olá, pessoal. Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to have you all here. And welcome to Q&A with Laura, the live Portuguese class where I answer all of your Portuguese questions, whether it's pronouncing words, picking up new phrases and expressions, or even understanding Brazilian culture. I'm here for it. But before we get started, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel. You can click here, hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of my future content, okay? Also follow me on other social media too. I'm gonna leave it here, okay? So this is our first Q&A live class, okay? And I'm gonna be asking some questions that I found in the comments or questions I received. So in the future, if you want to have your question also answered here, feel free to drop it down in the comments, okay, or in the form, okay? There's a link in my bio, not in my bio, in the description. There's a link in the description. You can click and you can also make your questions there for me, okay? Either in the comments or in this link, okay? And I will answer it next time. Great, so are you ready? Vocês estão prontos? Ready? So let's start. Let's start with the first question. I'm gonna put it here so you can see, okay? Great. Okay, so the first question is, I've never used the letter H in the 9.5 years I've been studying Portuguese. Why does the letter exist? Thanks. So, in Portuguese, the letter H is somewhat unique, you know, because it's considered a silent letter in most cases. So, unlike English, where the letter H often affects the pronunciation of the letters around it, in Portuguese, the H is typically silent if it is at the beginning of a word. So, it doesn't change the sound of the surrounding vowels, okay? For example, in the word hoje, hoje, it starts with 8, but it doesn't have a sound. Let me type here for you so you see how to write that word. This one like this, hoje, okay? So, oops, this one starts with H, see? But it doesn't have a sound. You only hear the sound of the O, hoje. That means today. Another, homem. This is the word for man, homem. It also starts with H, but it doesn't have a sound, okay? And one last example is the word hora, meaning hour, okay? Hora. Also doesn't have a sound. So in these cases, the letter H doesn't have a sound. It's silent, okay? It's at the beginning of a word. But there are some special situations, you know, in certain words, especially when it comes after a consonant, like, for example, in English you have the TH having a different sound, right? In the word, for example, this, it changes the sound. So in Portuguese, we have that too when the letter H is used in combinations. And what combinations are that? For example, with the letter L. So you have LH, LH, the letter CH, CH, and the letter NH, NH. Let me give some examples of how that would sound. So the first example with the letter LH, LH. We have, for example, the word olho, olho, that means eye, olho. Or we have, for example, falha, that means fail, falha. See, if it's difficult for you to pronounce it first, because you don't have this sound in English, you can say li, li, falha, olho, until it becomes natural, okay? So start by trying to say it like this. So this is one way we use the H and it's not silent. Another possibility is with the letters CH. Let me put here an example for you. For example, chocolate. I know in English you say chocolate. See the difference in the sound. Ch, ch, in English. In Portuguese is chocolate. Okay? It's like you're using the SH in English, like this. Sh, okay? Chocolate. Another example is the word chave. Chave. This means key. Okay? Great. And now with the letters NH, NH. One example we have is the word sonho. Sonho. It means dream. Okay? And see how I say it. Sonho. At first, if it's hard for you, say ni. Sonho. Sonho. Until it becomes more natural. Okay? Start by saying ni and practice until it's natural. Sonho. Okay? One more example. Ninho. Let me write for you. Ninho. This means nest. Ninho. So here you have examples where the letter H is not silent. Okay? Great. Very good. I hope this is answered effectively. Now let's go to the second question I received. This one I receive a lot, you know, and I want to show you guys this one. It is this. How can I improve my Portuguese pronunciation? So if you follow me here long enough, I believe you already know, but basically, I would consider incorporating music into your learning routine. Here's how you can do it. For example, you can choose songs in Portuguese and actively listening to it, following the lyrics, so you will pay attention to the pronunciation, to the rhythm, to the intonation in which we say the words. This will help you internalize the sounds and will make your pronunciation more natural, okay? So the first step is listening to the music, following the lyrics, okay? The next step you should do is sing along. So listen to the music and try to sing along. It can be fun and effective. Why? Because you will mimic the singer's pronunciation. You will try to match their intonation too. You will try to say the words, to sing the words like the singer is doing. So you can first sing a line, listen to the line, follow the lyrics, then try to sing the line. And after that, try to say the line, okay? So you have to learn how to sing it with the right pronunciation, but also how to say it. So after you sing, try saying that line, okay? This is very good because you will be mimicking the singer's pronunciation, okay? There is no mistake. And then you can repeat some challenging lines, okay? Those that you struggle with, try to repeat them until you feel comfortable with them, okay? And one last step for you to get really better at your pronunciation is to follow me here and watch my videos where I teach you the pronunciation using songs, okay? Great, very good. So that was our second question. Now let's go to the third one. Okay, this is our third question, okay? So why would blue be plural in the expression olhos azuis? In English, it's never plural. I don't understand. The cars are blue. How can blue be plural? It's a color. So this is a good question too, okay? In Portuguese, this is very important, so pay attention. In Portuguese, when describing certain physical characteristics, such as eye color, maybe even hair color, okay? If the noun is in the plural, the color or the other adjective has to be in the plural too. Why? This is a linguistic convention, okay? It's a convention that is different in English than is in Portuguese, okay? Sometimes we imagine that these rules will be the same for all languages, and we struggle with that, but it's not. Each language has its own grammar, has its own conventions, and this is the one for Portuguese. So what is the rule here in Portuguese? So the rule is the article, the number, the adjective, or the pronoun have to agree with the noun they refer to in gender and number, okay? So the word here is olhos. This means eyes. Olhos. See that it's in the plural and it is masculine, okay? So I have to use the adjective that is azul. The color here plays a part as an adjective, okay? So it has to agree with the noun. What is the noun? Olhos. Olhos is the noun. Azul is the adjective. If olhos is in the plural, the adjective has to be in the plural too. It becomes azuis, okay? So there's no use in fighting these rules. Guys, I understand it is different in English, okay? It's different. It doesn't mean that in Portuguese is wrong or in English is wrong. It's just a different convention, okay? But if you're speaking in Portuguese, you have to follow this rule, okay? So, and another thing here is that it might be weird for you at first, like he said here. How can it be plural? It's a color. But for us, it's so natural. We don't even think about it, And we know it has to agree for us. It would be weird not putting it in the plural, okay? It would sound weird for us because we're used to things this way, okay? Let me give you another example in which you can use this too. For example, saying cabelos loiros. Let me write that down too. For example, this was the next one. Saying cabelos loiros, blonde hair. But see that the word here is in the plural. I'm saying cabelos, okay? It's in the plural. So the blonde, loiro, also has to go in the plural, okay? That's why I'm saying cabelos loiros. I can use the word in the singular too to talk about hair. I can say cabelo. In that case, I would say cabelo loiro, okay? I would not put in the plural. So the noun here is cabelo or cabelos, and the adjective has to agree to it, okay? Great. So that's it. So this use of the plural is essential grammatical construction, okay? It is conventional for us in Portuguese, and it doesn't directly translate to English, okay? It's not the same in English. All right? Let's move on to the next one. You already had a chance to pick here the next one. I just want to remind you guys that if you want me to answer your questions, you can leave it in the comments, okay? Or in the form. I created a form and the link is in the description You can go there, you can place your question in an anonymous way if you want to, and I will answer it next time. All right? So let's go to the next question. The next question is this. Nossa Senhora é similar a oh meu Deus? Eu não sei. Okay, I don't know if you watched the video where I talked about this Nossa Senhora. It's an expression we have here in Brazil, okay? It literally means Our Lady. You know, that Catholic figure, Our Lady. And it literally means that, Nossa Senhora. So it comes from a Catholic root here in Brazil, but it doesn't have a religious meaning. The expression doesn't have a religious meaning nowadays, okay? I told you more about this in the video about the song Ai Se Eu Te Pego. So I recommend you watching that video if you want to know more about it, if you want to see me using the song. But generally, I'm going to explain here to you just by summary, okay? So, the question was, Nossa Senhora é similar a oh meu Deus? Is it similar to oh meu Deus? Yes, in a way it is. So, Nossa Senhora, like I told you, is one expression, and even though it has a religious root, it's not used for a religious purpose when we are speaking. So, what is it used for? It's used to express surprise, amazement, or strong emotions. So, for example, if you're surprised with something you weren't expecting, and you see that in front of you, you can say, Nossa Senhora, okay? Or let's say you are scared of something, not scared, but this idea of surprise, or if something like is so weird and you look at it, it's so weird looking, you say, Nossa Senhora. Like something that causes this feeling of surprise. That's it. Okay? Or strong emotions too. In the song, he uses this like he's amazed by the view of the girl. So he's so amazed, he's like, Nossa Senhora. Okay? That's another possibility too. So, to express astonishment in general. Okay? And the expression, oh meu Deus, or oh meu Deus, translates literally to, oh my God. So, for example, we can use Nossa Senhora in the situations you would use oh my God in English, okay? And we also have a literal translation to oh my God, that is, oh meu Deus, or oh meu Deus. The point here is, at least in my region, Nossa Senhora is more common. I see people using more Nossa Senhora to express this surprise, these emotions, than oh meu Deus. Okay? But they are similar. You can use oh meu Deus too, and people will understand. Okay? Another situation we could use oh meu Deus, and we don't use Nossa Senhora, is to express pity. For example, if you see like a little child suffering, you can say, oh meu Deus, or even meu Deus. Like in situations like this, you know, you wouldn't use Nossa Senhora in this case, okay? But you can also use oh meu Deus for surprise. When you see something that surprises you, say, meu Deus, oh meu Deus. See that I'm changing here the oh meu Deus for meu Deus, simply because this interjection here, is more common in Portuguese than oh. Oh would be in English, okay? It's not that we don't have the oh, we have it, but the is more common, more commonly used, okay? So, save these two expressions here so you can use them both when you want to express surprise, okay? First one, Nossa Senhora. Nossa Senhora, or meu Deus, meu Deus, okay? Great, this was our third question, I believe. And now we can go to the next one. Let me see if we have questions here. So far, no, nothing so far. Everything's all right, guys? I hope so. So let's go to the last question. Last question, guys. What is the difference between desculpa and desculpe? I also explained when to use these in another video, but for you that haven't watched, it means I'm sorry. We use these words to say we're sorry, okay? So what is the difference of desculpa and desculpe? The difference is primarily due to conjugation. So these two words exist in Portuguese. They both mean I'm sorry, okay? They're both forms of the verb desculpar, to forgive, desculpar, okay? And they're conjugated forms of this verb in the imperative mood, okay? So what is the difference? Desculpa is conjugated in the second person singular. So that person is called tu. If you're talking about tu, you will be using desculpa. And desculpe is conjugated in the third person singular. That would be você. So tu and você have the same meaning in Portuguese, okay? It's the second person. I'm addressing you. Tu or você. Tu is more, it's older. You know, nowadays we don't use tu so often anymore, okay? Here in my region, we only say você, okay? But for like historical meanings, we still have tu, we still have a special conjugation for tu. And in this case, it reflects that, okay? So here's the deal. Even though desculpe is the conjugated form of você, I would say we use more desculpa. Desculpa. I don't know, it sounds easier to say it. Desculpa. And we even say de. Desculpa. Desculpa. Okay? So in spoken language, we can use any of them, okay? They have the same meaning. If I say desculpe or desculpa, it means the same, okay? Nobody pays attention to which conjugation I'm talking about, okay? You can use either one of these, okay? But for me, in my opinion, desculpa seems more natural, at least here in my region, okay? Desculpa. So if you want to tell someone, I'm sorry, desculpa, or me desculpa, like forgive me desculpa, okay? Or you can say desculpe, or me desculpe, okay? They're the same, okay? The difference here is just in the conjugation, but like I told you, it's not something. Our last question, the last question of our first Q&A live class. Great, that's all for today. Q&A with Laura session. A big thank you to everyone who sent in questions. And if you want to have your questions answered by me, you can leave them here in the comments or in the form in the description like I told you about, okay? Remember to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe in the channel for more. That's it for today and bye-bye. Ciao!